SEO world to the video marketing world. And before we start our discussion, let me invite my friend from UK, Mr. Naval Gun.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. Yes, the world of digital. What's the 10 years ago, there was all this ideas of search engine optimization, which is shortened as SEO, as we always like to do three-letter acronyms. Um, so we're in the SEO world, but now we're sort of transferring our effort, I think, more and more into video. It's not surprising, as we've seen YouTube change their policies and practices over the last 3 or 4 years. So let's just look at that for one moment, CK, and see what YouTube have done, which strengthens the fact that actually organizations should be looking more at the video world, the short video world, the animation world. What have YouTube, because you've been pretty close to advertising and putting promos up on YouTube over the last 4 or 5 years. What dramatic changes have happened on YouTube?
I think, Naval, the reason for going for SEO services was basically to get searched. That was the idea behind uh, going for the SEO services. That if you're selling some XYZ services, and if somebody is interested in that service, your name should pop up there. For example, your name can be say Xerox, and if somebody is looking for photocopying, so Xerox and photocopy are totally different things. It starts from P, the Xerox starts from X, but if you search for photocopy, Xerox should pop in. And that was the emergence of the SEO services, and there are a lot of technologies which were built in into doing a proper SEO. And the website ranking. This is all started by and leveraged by Google, because Google was the search engine. And if somebody is searching for something on Google, it is all based on keywords. And the SEO was great in demand, because Google said, "Hey, I've got these 5 to 6 algorithms, and if you follow these algorithms, your business will get searched, and you will be among the top pages." To reach there, the ranking played a major role. Now, what has happened is that your ranking is there, it is relevant. Somebody, when they search, their search should be on the first few pages of the Google search. However, the instant gratification of getting the client interested in you is happening more from the video platform. So in my opinion, what has changed is that the SEO is sort of a menace which is required for certain businesses, or in certain cases it could be mandatory. But if you want to reach out to your client instantly with instant gratification, without any rating, etc. required, video has become a very, very go-to platform today.
Yeah. I think not just a go-to platform, but at the same time, we've actually seen YouTube changing their structure, their philosophy in many respects. I know just before Christmas, you were fortunate enough to be more recognized from YouTube because of the activity you've been putting on there. And I think they seem to be doing more and more in that promotion type of arena, where it's attracting more people to that particular platform. Not only YouTube, of course, but we've seen Vimeo, which is another interesting platform. And more organizations are realizing that, just like with TikTok, you can do a very quick little video. And we've seen how those little videos have gone viral. They've gone viral in the social context, but of course, a lot of people are selling in a social context. So we're actually seeing more personal animation. I mean, I think we've moved away, or certainly what I've seen. Correct me if I'm wrong here. People have moved away from the animated arena, the scribble type arena. Where it unfolds on the screen and it's someone else's hand doing it. Um, And again, I've noticed that all of these type of organizations have drastically reduced their prices because of competition. And it's not competition from their own part of the industry, it's actually competition from the video side. What do you think of that? These are just my perceptions, by the way. I'm only looking at this from how I see it. I've not really delved into any in-depth document here, but as a user of this arena, this is what I've seen change over the last 3 or 4 years. What do you think?
I think your observation is absolutely on the dot, Neville. Uh, there was a time when people were not very comfortable with coming on in front of the camera, and they were shying away from making videos. Yet, video has emerged as a very good, very powerful tool. So, there was an emergence of this scribbling software, or we also call them doodling. So, these doodles, you don't have
Yep.
to face the camera, but you can draw it. You have concept in your mind, you can draw it, and there are different doodling softwares which will help you create these animation. And the idea was that you make 1 or 2 minutes messaging videos for your audience. But now you rightly pointed out, Neville, that the YouTube has also changed their algorithms, and now they are promoting a longer video. We were living in the era just 12 months back that if your video is like 5 minutes, it's too long, people will not watch. But now, if it is 5 minutes, it's too short. So you have to make a substantial duration. You have to incorporate substantial duration in your video, so that the a meaningful dialogue can be maintained with your audience. So I think that is where the change that has happened, and these doodling softwares are now seeing the sunset. Um, but there is an emergence of AI based software which will do things automatically. For example, if I am talking something like some certain keywords, while recording, it will pop up that animation on the side of my face. So things like that are now coming up. There are a lot of innovation happening, which is the next level. And you can format your videos on the fly, and they look very professional, very beautiful.
You're absolutely right. They do look very professional. And so we've seen a huge transition over the last 4 or 5 years. And AI has really helped in this transition because we are becoming more professional, even from a small type arena. And I think you're right also that people are now realizing that people buy from people. Remember this phrase that we keep saying from time to time, and people say, "What do you mean by that?" People buy from people. Of course they do, you know? Well, we have to realize that it's the relationship why people buy from people. I'm not talking about commodities now, where you can go and Google it, and Amazon has got 15 providers all doing it within 2 rupees difference, So one can deliver it within the next 10 hours, and the other one you're going to get it tomorrow. So it's consumer choice. I'm not talking necessarily about that type of product arena, but I am talking about the service type arena where people really do buy from people because it's a service. It's not something that is going to be typically a one-off. You're going to have a relationship with someone for a period of time, whether that's a few days, a week, a month, maybe a year, 18 months. I mean, we all know when we renew our mobile phone contract, it's a commodity now because there are so many mobile phone providers out there. But in the first days, I was thinking, do I really want to have an O2 contract, or what's the coverage? What about Vodafone? What's the coverage there? What about Three? Three's coming in. So all of those things would come through my mind, and I would then talk to somebody, you know, an informed person on a high street that's just to give me some advice. So people were buying from people still. Yes, it's moved into a commodity, and it's a lot easier to buy these things these days because we're probably more more learned, if you like. We've got more experience, more understanding. But it comes back to this word relationship. We talk about it all the time. And we also, in the past, have said from contact to contract is one simple letter, and that's the letter R. And again, R stands for relationship. So it's this relationship building that I think most people now are realizing we can do that quicker on a video. Do you think that that is now becoming more the norm? People are realizing that they're having to build that relationship from a very personal standing, and that's why the scribble and the doodle is sort of, as you say, it's their sunset. I think they'll never fade away completely. I think they'll always be there because it's a nice little tool to have, but certainly it won't be the top marketing tool that people go to. But what do you think it's about? People are realizing now that it's their personality perhaps that needs to shine through.
Yes, especially in the arena of digital world, when 40 to 50% of the workforce would work like this going forward. The all the works are getting transitioned to the digital platform and work from home scenario. So it will be very very important for people to sell themselves, and when they sell themselves by way of video, they reach out to the audience instantly. It's an instant gratification, as I said in the beginning. So you can reach out to the audience and you can appeal to them, you can connect with them, without waiting for results of your advertising to come back to you. Because if you advertise on a in a magazine, you will probably realize the effect of it after 6 months. But here in video, it is instant, and then you can drive your organization from the front. You can actually be, instead of sending emails to your people, you can just do a video every day, and all of them will watch it. Now extend this concept. If you make a video about your product or your service, you have the ability to reach out to 100 people, but with this video platform you can now reach out to 100,000. So it is going beyond usual marketing, digital marketing trends and instant gratification. All you have to do is you have to make an appealing video. You have to be able to connect with people. You have to be able to make sure that you are winning the mind share of the people. And talking about doodle and scribble, those kind of softwares, I think it's genesis. If they stick around with the same thing that they have been providing to the client, obviously they will see the sunset. But they have to bring in these AI based stuff to enhance their offering, and that is how they can also grow. So I'm sure they must be doing it. It's their business, they must be watching it. But if you are just a layman with no gadgets to help you, but you're smart, you can make your video for free, and we can reach out to 10,000 people for free without spending a dime in SEO or social media marketing.
You're absolutely right, and there is always this concept for SMEs. It's like those three words that would always attract people: free, chocolate, and sex. Well, we're talking about free here. You know, if you can put the other two into your little video, then you're going to get people's attention, because it's those sort of things that do get people's attention. Not necessarily a very dour interview like this that no one's going to not watch, and typically not the BBC. Welcome to the 6 o'clock news. I mean, those days have all gone. You know, people need to see you as an individual, because when they eventually see you, then they feel as though they know you, and I think that's the key here. And we started this discussion off with SEO to video. I think SEO is still important, but my personal opinion is people people are no longer, and I may be shot down here by lots of people that are talking about SEO and and selling SEO services, but I don't think people are in the mindset of these days of searching. I don't really think that, on balance, the majority of people now are in this search mentality. Like the original Yale.com. You would go onto Yale.com and you would find a plumber in Delhi, and it was there for you, and it was focusing your brain to search in that manner. I think those days are definitely on the wane. To use your term, sunset. I think the sunset is coming for those, and I think SEO services, the sunset's coming as well, even if it's not already there. But I think people now are more, they're smarter. They ask their friends, what would you recommend? That's their type of search. Um, and I think actually, I think TikTok has got a lot to be thankful for here, despite the fact it's been banned in India. I think the TikTok style of arena has got a lot of people through lockdowns around the world. These things have gone viral very quickly because people are desperate to talk to each other. We are human animals at the end of the day, and we need to collaborate with others. That fires up our DNA, if you like. It gets the adrenaline moving. So I think, on balance, as far as I'm concerned, video has been the way to go and should be the way to be thinking. So if you're out there thinking about doing your first video, don't think anymore. Go and do it. As you said, CK, it's so easy and it is cheap. You can even get a little tripod or even hold this from a distance and talk into it and just record it. And the nice thing about that is if you don't like it, delete it, do it again. And then if you don't like that one, you could delete it and do it again. Notice I'm saying delete it because these things do take up quite a bit of storage, as we move from just a few pages of digital script into video script. The bandwidth and the storage capability goes up quite considerably. So think about that if you're going to be doing it. But go ahead and do it. Send it to us. We'll quite happily share it out with other people and see what they think. And don't be worried about it because eventually people do see you in real life. When they buy from you, they will see you typically. So get on with it. Get out into the video world and have some fun.
Right, and in fact, when we talk about SEO, I think there are very advanced technologies which are now available, things like predictive analytics, etc., which are basically moving away from SEO, or rather doing SEO automatically. For example, if you go to buy any commodity, for next 10 days you will be bombarded with those messages that, hey, you were looking for this, and now here are the different vendors. So I think you don't have to really do an SEO. All you have to do is basically be part of a retail outlet like Amazon. But here we are talking about the next arena where people have to sell, lead the organization, sell their services, consulting services, and going forward, 40% of these jobs will be of this type, the digital arena type. So I think it is very important for people to get hooked on to the digital platform, use the video as a very powerful tool to reach out to your audience. And I think you rightly said, Neville, I think we all have to move on. It's free and we have to try it out. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. I think that's the term for this week. Don't be shy. Get out there. Always a pleasure speaking with you, CK. Good luck, everybody. Get your videos out there. Come on, have some fun.
Thank you, Neville, and we'll catch up with something more interesting tomorrow. Bye bye.
Cheerio.